All right, so welcome back. I do want to just throw out kind of maybe one mechanical piece to give a little bit more about the mechanics of the game before we dive back into the investigation. So a few times I've referenced as a consequence the mission clock. So I mentioned at the beginning as well, but the mission clock really one of its purposes is a pacing mechanism. So as the mission clock increases, um, things can happen, right? So if as a player, if you're playing and you want to kind of push forward on some things and maybe move some things along, if you don't redact, um, things will get more difficult, but it also pushes the story forward. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, but it does kind of move you in that direction um, to being faced with having to resolve what's happening. So just so you know that's there as a pacing mechanism as well. So um, all right, so I think yeah, where we picked up let's see here. Let me get back to the screen. So um, uh, so Zal's character, Agent West, was in Dr. Salazar's office. Dr. Uh, Salazar is unconscious and um, slumped over his desk. The administrative assistant was curious, but for some reason decided that it wasn't it, that she didn't need to walk down the hall to check in what was going on, and she went back to her office. Um, and why don't we go ahead and jump back to Darby and Pappy? So you would just kind of look through the victims or the deceased's laptop, and saw that he was doing research on sleep disorders and kind of interpreting dreams, and that he also had some appointments locked off with the University Counseling Center. So what do the two of you do?
I think for Darby, the priority is reuniting with Agent West. We got to get together and share our findings.
All right.
I agree with that.
Okay. So he told you where he was going, so he's pretty easy to find. The
Our walkie-talkies, right? Our radios.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but as you kind of walk down the hall and past the administrative assistant's office, she kind of looks out and she says, "Can I help the two of you?"
Yes. Howdy, miss. We are looking for the office of one of the professors here at this fine institution of learning. I believe his name is Dr. Philip Salazar. Could you point us in his direction, please?
Yeah, he's just down the hall on the right. You should be in.
All right. Thank you very much. And we'll walk over and I'll knock on the door.
Okay. So I assume that, yeah. So West knows that you're coming, so he opens the door and lets you in. So yeah, you see basically what was described before. His office actually is very very tidy. A few things hanging on the wall. A simple bookshelf, a big metal 1960s desk that looks a lot like what you guys have in your cubicles.
All right.
Government surplus desks.
So what do you guys find in your looking through stuff? I mean, I've only gotten so much. People are not talking a whole lot.
My God, is that man dead over there?
Nah, he's just a little. He's just feeling a little down. I think he's got whatever the hangman's got.
Ah, is you should check. Is he dreaming? Look at his eyes. Are they twitching around?
It didn't seem like there's a whole lot of movement. They're all rolled back and whatnot. Just a bunch of red though, around where the white should be.
Ah, because our other friend of the rope persuasion was definitely having some challenging dream situations.
Yeah, his friends think he's on LSD.
I tell you what, I think he is.
Oh,
But it's a well-known side effect of lysergic acid diethylamide that it helps to prevent sleep. So maybe he's been taking the acid in the hopes of avoiding them dreams that he was looking to catch in his room.
well, whatever he's been dreaming about seemed to have caught up with him and finally got the best of him. As it's
I agree, though. After we analyze the body, I suspect that I don't know, but he had bruises that looked like he had maybe been put in the noose rather than putting himself in there and dropping himself off. He died of asphyxiation, not a broken neck. It's a very peculiar.
Out of curiosity, Darby's going to check Salazar's shoes.
Okay. They're rather expensive. Rather expensive looking dress shoes. They're clean. There doesn't seem to be any, there might be some stuff stuck in his stuck in the sole, but they're not at all like what Thomas's shoes were like.
Well, it seems like he's not exactly. So, I catch West up with what we covered on the body. So he doesn't have the muddy shoes, which means that either we caught him early or other. If he was running in his dreams, though, I'm starting to suspect that he may have ended up going somewhere, which means that the location that he died was not in the room. So it'd be interesting if this fellow was going to be staying here. I kind of suspect that he might try to walk off.
I mean, we just gotta keep our eyes on this place. I mean, I don't think we can really be hanging around an office all day when he's got places to be. If not,
As you're sitting there, the phone on his desk rings.
Exactly my point.
All right. Well, if nobody's going to get it, I for sure am. Hello, this is Dr. Philip Salazar's office.
Can I speak with Dr. Salazar, please?
Who may I say is calling?
It's Genevieve.
Would that be Genevieve Williams? Miss
Yes.
Williams, can let me tell you something. I am from the state police, and we have some questions for you, and it would be mighty kind of you if we could come visit you at the entrance to your dormitory.
What are the
Now,
questions?
Miss Williams, don't worry, you're not in trouble.
Why can't I can I talk to Dr. Salazar?
I'm sorry, but he is indisposed at the moment. But I really think we have more important matters to discuss, don't you? Now,
Can you leave him a message?
what would that be?
Could you just let him know that I won't be able to be at work today?
Now, Mr. Williams, I thought you were a physics student. What are you doing working in Dr. Salazar's office?
I mean, I'm part of his lab team.
Now, why exactly does a psychology professor need a physics student in his lab?
I'm working as a technician with Dr. Saunders and Dr. Salazar.
Hey, yo, ask them what they're working on. What's this lab thing for?
And what exactly is your lab working on, ma'am, may I ask? And I just remind you here that we are in an official investigation, and it would be a criminal felony if you were to obstruct the act of justice, which we are commencing forthwith right here.
I don't. I can't say.
Now, ma'am, you can't or you won't. That's what we call a grammar lesson right there.
I won't.
All right. Well, I feel like, given your hesitancy to discuss the situation, we're just going to have to come talk to you. Where exactly can we find you right now?
I'm in my dorm. I can meet you in the coffee shop at the first floor of the dorm.
All right. That sounds mighty fine. We will be there shortly. You wait for us there, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
I start looking around for paperwork for this lab thing.
Yeah, there's not really. I mean, there's not necessarily paperwork for it, but you do see on the wall, framed on the wall. There's actually a couple of things, but one of them that really kind of sticks out to you is it looks like it's some sort of a certificate or a congratulations type certificate from the. Sorry, give me a second. I've got it written down somewhere. The Institute for Enlightened Exploration, and it's an award, a grant award to Dr. Saunders and Dr. Salazar. Let's congratulate them on funding for their research.
Enlightened research, huh? Or
Was that
enlightened exploration or something you said, right?
Yeah. On a hunch, I think Darby is going to, and definitely not trained professionally in this, but just kind of get a gut check, which is to say, reaching into some latent supernatural abilities to try to just detect if there's something supernatural happening in this room right now, particularly with the sleeping man.
Okay. I will have you if you can roll. It'd definitely be one die for using the using resonance for the paranormal power. I don't know if the other ones would fit or not. Probably not.
Feels like a one die situation.
Yep. Yeah, and this is kind of a straight kind of untrained paranormal thing you're trying to do here. So I'm gonna say that this is definitely risky.
Sounds good. That is a 5.
5.
Nice.
All right. So I am going to tick the mission clock twice.
Ooh.
As the consequence.
I will allow it.
Okay, and then the other. So then you do get a sense that the Dr. Salazar's there's something extra normal about the about him being comatose.
All right.
You just kind of get.
If I'm allowed to ask a further question, does it seem he's here right now?
It does not.
All right. I'm going to kind of Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm getting the feeling that the lights are off and nobody's home. Which means that... What did you say that thing on the wall said? That grant?
Enlightened exploration.
I mean... I think that he might be wandering right now.
You're suggesting that his soul is where his body is not. Am I smelling what you are? Am I smelling what you're stepping in there?
Soul's a strong word, but to the effect, yes.
That would be some exploration.
Exploring indeed. Now, if Genevieve is involved in some experiments, well, I think that she has certainly earned that talking to that you were talking about.
I do agree. Do we leave Dr. Salazar here, or do we maybe take him back to the car, or what do you propose for this situation?
That's a tricky question, because how harshly do we want to act on just a hunch?
I mean,
Well-
what type of damages do we think is going to happen if we leave him here? Are you going to end up hanging himself too?
Perhaps, or maybe it's equally bad for us if he hears that we were here and then he decides it would be better if he were not.
I mean, we can like cuff him to the desk or something if it's really that bad.
Oh, I like how you think, son.
Now, I do in my standard issue kit have a quote standard binding ritual, which I'm not sure the exact implications of.
It's up to you. It's your ritual, so it's up to you.
Interesting. What is I'm going to I'm going to call this like those Japanese pieces of paper that are used to like seal magic and create wards.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I'm going to do is that on our way out, I'm going to put it on his door, which will basically keep him in this room, keep him in his office.
Sure.
And then I'll like cover it with like a school flyer or something to just have it not be quite so obvious.
All right. Yeah, I'll have you roll to set that up. You do get one for the equipment. Probably one for being a trained agent since it's part of your equipment. I don't know if it's connected to your background, but
it is not connected to my background, but I am going to channel some resonance to just because I think that's part of the process.
Sure.
So that'll be 3.
Okay.
And that's 5.
Roll to 5. All right. So the consequence. Do the consequence first. It's going to be another tick on the mission clock. But it feels like it worked. The door is sealed.
All right, I'm willing to take that 4th tick, but I think after that it's going to get a little spicy. So
Okay.
Can I walk over back to the administrative aide, and I would like to ask her about Dr. Saunders.
Okay.
So, yeah, go ahead.
So what she wants? What would you like to know? He's I'm sorry. She's a professor of physics.
And it is my understanding that Dr. Saunders and Dr. Philip Salazar, they were co-workers. They ran a lab together. Is that a correct understanding?
Oh yeah. They have a they got a really big grant, like 6 I don't know, maybe 6 months or so ago.
And what exactly is it that they are studying with this grant money?
I'm not sure. It's kind of a exciting that they got the money, but the project is, I guess, is kind of, I guess you could say, top secret.
And if I were to be looking to discuss with this Dr. Sanders, where might I find her?
Well, in the in Sterling Hall, the physics building.
All right, and she'll tell me where it is. Okay, great. Thank you very much for your time. You've been a wonderful help.
Okay. So are you headed over to Chadbourne to meet with Genevieve, or are you headed to the physics building? You're splitting up?
I think Genevieve.
I think Genevieve.
I am perfectly fine with that.
Okay. All right. So as you're walking towards that dorm, you hear Officer Masters yelling for Agent Pappy, kind of from across the square and running towards you.
Well, howdy-ho, officer. You look about as flustered as a bear with its paw in a beehive, my friend. What is going on?
We found another body.
Well, now we have no lack of those today. Where exactly did you find this body?
Over on the lake and the Lakeshore Trail.
Mud. And do you know whose body it is?
We do. It's Dr. Saunders.
And what? And is it safe to assume that it is now the ex Dr. Saunders? Is she
Yeah.
dead?
Yes, the body's dead.
And what is the cause of death, do you assume?
Well, I'm not a forensic scientist, but it's like somebody beat the shit out of her.
I think Darby's gonna nudge Pappy a little bit and just be like, "Don't cackle."
Okay, and I will look over at Darby and I'll be like, "Oh, absolutely," and I'll put my hands over his ears and be like, "Earmuffs, Dr. Astor." Well, I'm sorry, what was that?
I'm a sensitive boy.
What kind of state agent would bring their son an investigation?
Why, no right man would bring his son to an investigation. He is clearly an intern. What is wrong with you?
I look a lot younger than I am.
Oh, okay. All right. I apologize for the mistake.
He had a little too much coffee when he was growing up. He didn't really grow to proper height and whatnot. You know, he's just kind of, a little stunted and stuff. But he's he's mature and whatnot. Don't worry about it.
Well, do you want to see the body?
I am holding the signature prop of my disguise, which is a old brick Game Boy.
Oh God.
So what do we do here? Do we go to the body or do we go talk to Genevieve first?
West goes to Genevieve.
All right. So I guess I will say, Officer Astor, I feel like we can trust you. Is that right?
Yeah.
You're a good local officer of the law, correct?
That is correct.
It is times like these when we need men like you, sir. We will rely on you to watch that body and make sure that it is not disturbed, not one hair, I say. And we have another witness who is waiting for us that we cannot hold up, but we will be right to that body as soon as we are done. Lickety-split, sir.
You at least bring me some coffee when you come to the body. I don't really like being a body sitter, babysitter, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, trust me, I know about being a babysitter. And he kind of rolls his eyes at Darby. We will absolutely bring you the coffee.
Okay. Yeah. So you find you find the dorm, Chadbourne, and you find the coffee shop without a problem, and you see an African American young lady in her late teens, early 20s, kind of looking around nervously. When you walk in, she looks at you because well, two of you at least are probably wearing some sort of suits. Agent West.
Hey, how's it going? Okay, now I'm gonna cut to the chase here. I was gonna have some questions for you, but things are just kind of getting worse here. So, a couple people are already not with us anymore. You got your boyfriend, you got your teacher of the
What?
project. Yeah, yeah.
What about Thomas? What do you mean Thomas isn't with us?
Well, he
I've been
had.
trying to get a hold of him all morning.
Well, he ended up. Well, I don't want to really say how things are gone, but he's not with us anymore. Okay, and the Salazar guy's not looking too good either, and Saunders isn't with you anymore either. Like, let's get down to brass tacks. We need to stop that project you're working on, because that's the bottom line, is that it's no good. So you're going to show us where it is, and we're going to shut this thing down, because this ain't happening anymore.
What do you mean?
Enlightened exploration?
That's the grant that funds our work.
Yeah, well, people exploring themselves to death, okay? It's enough of that.
What?
Darby's gonna like tap on Agent West's side and be like, "Hey, give me 5 with her, okay?"
All right. I try to
She
help
looks-
out around to here, and all right, go at
She
it,
definitely
kid.
looks like she's trying to keep a hard, keep control of herself, but she's not. She's got that look that she's about to just break down.
Darby's gonna like pull up a chair and sit next to her. And instantly his body language changes to like just a disarming affectation of acting his age, basically.
Okay.
And he's going to open with like, "Look, hey, I'm sorry that my friend told you that real rough. You didn't deserve that. You didn't deserve that. What he's trying to say is that we're trying to help people, all right? And we think that something's gone terribly wrong with that experiment that you're a part of. Do you think that you could tell us a little bit about that? Maybe save another life."
I signed a non-disclosure agreement. It says I could go to jail for
You
years
need
and years.
How much my dad talks about non-disclosure agreements all the time. They're actually totally bogus. They don't mean anything. It's just something you do to spook you, actually.
I don't know, the representative that was there that made us all sign him was she didn't look like she was fooling around.
Yeah, they try to get someone scary for that kind of thing. But the point is that, for investigations, for look, again, we're trying to help people.
Well, I can take you to the lab. It's in the basement of the physics building. I can take you over there and show you what we're. And then all of a sudden, her kind of demeanor changes, and she sits up straight, and kind of with a stone cold face, just says, "Can't tell you anymore." And then she starts to get up to walk away.
No, wait, real quick. Before you go, I don't want you to go off anywhere without taking care of yourself. Okay?
She doesn't acknowledge that you're still speaking to her.
All right. I'm going to go back. I assume that my 2 partners are just a couple feet back.
Yep.
I'm going to say, "Follow her. We found our man."
All right, we'll follow her.
What was I doing that was so wrong there? Just getting to the bottom line.
Oh.
Why you gotta cut me
Not
off
bad,
like
Kyle.
that?
You're not bad, Kyle. You were doing great.
Yeah, that's what I
So
thought.
she actually, so she actually walks towards. She's walking towards the elevator, and as you follow, it's pretty hard, if not impossible, to be subtle or stealthy. The attendant behind the desk says, "Sir, you're not allowed. You're not allowed past the um, hallway or past the desks."
All right, so I will let the two of them go with follow Genevieve, and I will run interference with this woman. So I will take out my fake badge, which I don't know. You tell me if I have or not.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm supposed to be portraying state police. I'll be like, ma'am, this is state police business. We are in the middle of an active investigation. I would please have you step aside.
You need to be escorted.
And who would be our escort then?
I can get one of my coworkers.
I said, all right, well, they are just going to go with this woman here, and you can go get your coworkers, and we will meet them in just 2 shakes of a dog's leg.
They can't go. They can't go.
Ma'am, this is police business. Just go get your friend, and we are happy to follow your protocols. But you are aware that obstruction of a criminal investigation is a crime.
She kind of goes behind her. Allie, can you help, please? And she comes out, and she's definitely a little bit, definitely older. Not, I mean, she's still young. You know, she probably hasn't hit 30 yet, but she probably isn't. She's a student. She might be a grad student. Who knows? But she's like, "What's the problem here?"
So I'll say like, Miss Allie, if I may, I would be honored if you would escort my friends and I and Miss Genevieve Williams. We are questioning her about official state police business. There was a crime here on campus today that we are investigating.
So as you're talking, the elevator doors open, and Genevieve still is not acknowledging you, and she steps in and just pushes a button.
Darby sprints for the elevator.
Okay. So yeah, you're able to kind of sneak in as the doors are closing, and you do hear the lady behind the desk, "Sir, you have to be escorted."
That's fine.
All right. So yeah, you're on the elevator with Genevieve, and she's staring like just basically straight forward.
I'm going to kind of nod politely and say, "Doctor."
Ignores you.
All right, then.
You do remember that. You do remember after you said that she's not a doctor.
No, you're right. I think he was assuming that it was Dr. Salazar in the body. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I do assume that Dr. Salazar is currently driving.
Yeah.
Okay, so you got no response.
All right. Well, if she's going to continue to ignore me, then I will continue to shadow.
Okay. So it goes up a couple of floors, and the other two of you on the ground. She's like, "Well, where are you going? Where do I need to escort you to?"
So we'll watch the indicator that says what floor the elevator is on go up to the floor, and then we will push the button, and we'll come back down, and we'll say like, "Look, we are just trying to. We have some questions for Miss Williams that she has not fully answered yet. So let's."
And there's multiple elevators. So.
Yep. Okay. Great.
All right. So as the so we'll jump back then to Darby. So as the elevator is going up, it's gone up. It's probably halfway up. You notice that she pushed the 9th floor button. She turns incredibly quickly and slashes you across the face. So you take the condition of maimed face.
All right. It's at that.
What do you do?
It's at that point that Darby is going to pull out his handgun.
Okay.
And he is going to assume his proper stance and just say, "Only warning."
Okay. So you took the condition.
Yep.
Okay. So it is a little bit hard to see because the blood in your eyes.
Forgot about that. I'm going to redact that if possible. So would that be 2 dice?
Yeah, so you'd roll 2 dice.
All right. That is also a 5. Lots of 5s.
All right, so that is 2. You add 2 resonance.
All right, great.
Okay, so she kind of ignores the gun and lunges at you.
Wow. Okay. What Darby said was a lie. He's going to fire a warning shot directly into the ceiling, and he suspects that just the noise and flash of it might snap her out.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and... I don't know if you need to make a roll. You don't need to make a roll for that necessarily, but I am going to give you the consequence of exposure 2, just because it was a pretty loud gunshot, and down on the first floor, you see that the elevator is kind of like between right around 5th floor or whatever. It hasn't stopped yet, but you hear the gunshot. And Ellie looks kind of panicky at the moment.
Ah.
I want to go to the basement, but now there's a gunshot. God damn it.
Miss Alley, may I recommend that perhaps with this sudden change of situation, you stay here and maybe ask your customers to evacuate the premises, and Agent West and I will go make sure that everyone upstairs is all right.
Okay. As you're doing that, you do see that the girl behind the desk has her phone out, and can't exactly tell what she's doing with it. Looks like she might be recording. And we'll go ahead and jump back to Darby. So since she was lunging at you, and since you shot up, she also did slam. She also did slam into you and knocked you back. It didn't really hurt. It just kind of pushed you back into the wall of the elevator. What do you do?
Darby does not think that that she is home. He's not going to risk shooting her, so he's just going to hesitate and hope that the situation resolves in his favor. He's going to roll those dice.
Okay. Rolling those metaphorical dice.
Metaphorical dice.
Okay. So she does feel stronger than you would expect, and she starts to drive. She basically drives a knife into your gut.
Was that what you were hoping for there, Adam?
What was that?
I just asked if that was what he was hoping for as a resolution.
No, but I will. I mean, I'm going to redact that, right? That's not part of the. Darby has a lot of combat training, but is small. Is even with just this young college girl, she's out of his weight class. So,
Eric, can I ask a rules question?
Yep.
So, is it possible that he can take like evasive maneuvers as a dice rolling action?
No, I mean, this is one like within. I treat this like you would in Blades, where it was the
Yep.
Where there was a consequence.
Yep.
Consequence due to the fiction. So.
Okay, great. All right.
I'm going to assume that's 2 dice, unless.
Darby, this is Darby.
You have 4 residents, right?
You have 4 residents. So you roll 4 dice.
Oh, I roll. Okay, I apologize. I was thinking of it as a fortune roll. Okay, so 4 dice for that redact. That is a 6. No, that is a crit.
Crit. Okay, so crit. You stay at 4. You stay at 4 residents, and you were able to kind of dodge and knock her hand so that the knife hit the wall instead of your gut, which was good.
I'm using the gun itself to redirect the blade, so it's
sure.
metal against metal to deflect it.
Okay. So let's say where we're at now that we're at a bit of a stalemate with the fight in the elevator, and Pappy and West are waiting to see where the elevator stops, and we'll find out.
West went towards the basement because that's where they heard that the experiment and stuff was. So he's taken.
It's actually in a different building.
Oh,
that's in the physics building. We're in the
dorm, right?
Yeah. So so I mean, you can head towards the physics building if you want, but
I think if you want, if you want to start running up the stairs, I can communicate with you by radio about what floor they land on.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Okay. Yep. So it's already. Okay, so they're already on the 5th floor. As you turn to the stairs, you also do notice that the other elevator is at the 1st floor.
I don't know if that's quicker than stairs. Okay, we'll try the elevator. Even though I'm pretty sure stairs would have been quicker, but if I was in it, but we'll go 5 floors is kind of a lot to run, so we'll go with the elevator.
And that's where they're at now. When they didn't stop on the 5th floor.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, so when we pick up next week, Agent Pappy is on the 1st floor, getting probably streamed to I don't know, what would it be, Snapchat?
Sure.
And West has entered the elevator, and Darby's fighting with
in mortal peril.
Co-ed, college co-ed.
What could go wrong?
I think that's kind of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so for next week we'll pick up at 7:00. At this point, I will put together kind of a list of the clues that you have, so that you're kind of jog your memory when we get started again, and we'll see what happens.
Have a good night, folks.
All right, that sounds great.
Sounds good.
So we'll see everybody next week.
Take care.
Yeah.